This college football forecast was brought to you by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet?
With the Capital One Venture Card, we get double miles on every purchase. So we earned a holiday trip to the Big Apple twice as fast. Dinner! We get double miles every time we use our card. And since double miles add up fast, we can bring the whole gang. It's hard to beat double miles.
I want a mace, a sword, ow.
Get the Venture Card from Capital One and earn double miles on every purchase every day. Go to CapitalOne.com.
I wonder what it can be.
What's in your wallet?
The Tassimo Brew Bot. 7 different beverages, one smart little bot.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. This holiday season, enjoy free shipping with no minimum order.
Give a gift from LL Bean, and it's guaranteed to stand up to anything. No fine print, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Probably the coldest that I've seen a December this early.
It blew off on my neighbor's roof. It knocked down trees, and there's power lines across the street from my house. Yeah.
It's like a slip and slide out here.
Not gonna lie, that Christmas music scares me a little bit. We've been seeing all sorts of things over this entire week, effects on crops, the roads, even that lighthouse. That blows me away. Good weather. Good Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend View. I'm Eric Fisher, and Jen Carfagno is in the Digital Media Center this morning, and she is perusing the morning headlines. Hi there, Jen.
Good morning. It's amazing how much happens in a week weather-wise. You just saw it in pictures. We're going to talk about what's happening in your morning papers today, some of the headlines that we're covering for you. Of course, the dome collapse is a huge story. We take you out to the Star Tribune and NFL chief Dayton to talk stadium. The headline there today talking about what's going to happen to the Vikings. Where are they going to play? And what's going to happen as they continue to try to heal the Metrodome after the tear in the roof. We're looking at your morning papers, and not just there, but across the Northeast. Minneapolis, the story is the game must go on. They are clearing the TCF Stadium. Folks were out shoveling this week, and they have it ready. Is it going to be a cement block? Well, that's one concern, both for fans and players alike. But they're getting it ready for this weekend's game. Not as many seats, though, as the Metrodome. That is another concern there. Then we take you out to Lambeau Field, where, you know, digging out stadiums, nothing new for folks in the Midwest, and outdoor games, nothing new either. They do this routinely in Green Bay. They dig out the stadium. Fans love it. They're paid $8 an hour to do it. Some consider it an honor, I think, to be able to dig out the bleachers and the seats and get ready for the weekend game. Then we head out to the West, where the big story is the unending rain that we are seeing here in the Bay Area. The headline is Bay Area battens down the hatches, and certainly because not just rain but wind is going to be a factor with all these storms as well that we continue to see pounding the West Coast. We take you down the coast, and other concerns for us are concerns for some mudslides in the LA area, and we'll have more on that throughout the morning. Eric?
All right, Jen, thank you very much. You know, the concern for us throughout portions of North Carolina this morning are going to end up being a little bit of wintry weather, a big difference from what you're seeing out there on the West Coast. This is what we're expecting. We do have this winter weather advisory centered right over the Raleigh area, and I think the big reason for that, so many people living in that area, so a higher impact event is until 6 o'clock later on tonight through 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning. We're talking 1 to 2 inches of snow, so nothing astronomical, but in this part of the country, 1 to 2 inches of snow can have quite a bit of an impact, so watch out as you're driving around town. Could see some hazardous driving conditions, especially for heading out to maybe a holiday party later on tonight into tomorrow morning. Fairly quiet right now, perhaps a few sleet pellets and snowflakes right around the North Carolina-Virginia border. Rain further to the south. It's part of this area of low pressure that right now is centered over Florida. You're going to stay in the rain here, South Georgia, South Carolina, throughout Florida, and then you're going to be seeing some of these light snowflakes in Tennessee that will lead their way into something a little more substantial heading towards North Carolina tonight. As for you folks in the Northeast, you're wondering what's going to happen. This is the storm that we were going to watch for a potential nor'easter. This is the track that we're thinking of taking it well off toward the east. So eventually this will bring some snow out towards Nova Scotia and then back its way toward New England. So that will bring some moisture into Maine, northern New England, perhaps even southern New England as we head towards Tuesday of next week. But the big snowstorm not in the cards. As for forecast in Cleveland, you might be wondering what's going to happen this weekend into next week. The home stretch to Christmas, 20s for high temperatures. We're going to bring the clouds back in for Sunday and Monday, and perhaps some snow. You're guaranteed a white Christmas at this point, but a little more snow as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday. In Hartford, a dry week with 30s for highs and 20s for lows. But heading into Wednesday, Thursday, you too will be watching the chance for maybe a pre-Christmas storm here. It's still a long way out. I wouldn't get worried about it just yet, but something that bears watching. And in Nashville, you warm up into the mid-40s by Monday after a pretty quiet weekend. Just a few flurries earlier on today. And some rain arrives in your neck of the woods by the time we get toward Tuesday. Now, earlier on this week, we had some trouble in greater Atlanta and throughout the South in terms of ice. And Jen's going to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's a hot button topic on driving in ice. It was a southern shutdown from the ice. That's what we're talking about this morning on Facebook and Twitter. And, you know, Wednesday night alone in Atlanta, there were more than 1,000 traffic accidents in metro Atlanta. Freezing rain hit right at rush hour, the worst possible time. The police were so busy that they were telling people to only call 911 if they were injured, and then to wait until the next day to file a police report. Some drivers were forced to abandon their cars at Interstate 575 overnight and then get them the next day. A bridge next to the Weather Channel was even closed here, shut down because of an accident. So that's the question we're talking about today. Why do people always push the envelope when it comes to bad weather and going out when icy roads are a risk? Here, we put it on Facebook this morning, already received a lot of responses. D. Wright said, the only time I go out is because I have to go to work. Too many people think that they are masters at everything. Well, I agree with you there. You know, we're going to have more on these comments coming up. Another comment this morning says, from Amber says, because too many people think they are the masters at everything. Thanks for that, Amber. Right now, we'll send it over to Eric for a look at what's coming up next in Weekend View.
All right, thanks, Jen. Despite all the snow and ice clobbering parts of the country, there are still many reasons to love winter. We're taking a look at one when Weekend View continues. And what's white, green, and Christmassy all over? Yeah, Christmassy could be a word. The Weather Channel's Guaranteed White Christmas Contest. We're going to introduce you to the family who won this contest and 15 grand in cold, hard cash. It's going to be a good holiday for them.
This is Lara. Her morning begins with arthritis pain. That's a coffee and 2 pills. The afternoon tour begins with more pain.